Welcome back everybody. Happy holidays to everyone. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Sina and you are watching Luxury Rumble. So today we brought you a crazy car, 2013 SRT Viper V10 naturally aspirated engine that belongs to my friend Julius. How's it going, Ross?
Everything's good,
to
man.
see you. Awesome.
Good
Finally, so he is a very busy guy and finally I was able to catch him to review his SRT Viper naturally aspirated V10 8.4 liter 512 cubic inch. It generates 640 horsepower at around 6200 RPM and 600 pound-feet of torque at around 5000 RPM to the rear wheels. Why it calls SRT Viper and is not a Dodge Viper?
Most people, whenever they see a Dodge Viper, they automatically think it's Dodge because Dodge basically, they started off and, there was a lot of questions on, if the Viper was ever even going to come back. So, SRT, Street Racing and Tuning, from 2013 and 14, they basically brought it back and everyone obviously is super excited for it. I was super excited for it, so.
So there is three different trims. The first is SRT and then there is GTS and then the higher version is the track version. It calls ACR.
All right, so mainly the big difference, or the biggest difference is price, obviously, you know what I'm saying? The base model SRT, runs about 75,000 to 100,000 depending on where you go. Everything's basically stock on the SRT. The suspension is stock. I mean, the V10 8.4 liter. The GTS, the only real big difference I would have to say is just the internal components, just the bells and whistles. In my opinion, it's not really for Viper enthusiasts or car enthusiasts. It's more so for the people who want a taste of the road, but they also want the bells and whistles. ACR, on the other hand, that's a totally different beast. Basically, you got the aero kit, adds an extra 200 pounds of downforce. It does slow the Viper down just a little bit, but for the track, you're not really 100% worried about speed. You're more so worried about, hitting the turns, stepping in the turns, accelerating out of the turns, and the adjustable suspension. The rear wheels for the Viper is at a 355 is the biggest production tire on a car. The only, setback with that is its availability. It's very few tires. I just had both of these tires replaced, and I can tell you it was probably 3 brands, and Pirelli obviously is one of those brands. People are always wondering, like, hey, if you go smaller on rear tires, are you gonna have to change the sensors? Are you gonna have to change?
So many questions.
Yeah, exactly. So many questions. So just stick with 355. I could easily drive this daily. No questions asked. It's just that much power and being, as tamed as it is, it makes you want to get in it every day. Perfect example, when I met you at Cars and Coffee up in OC, hour and a half drive for me, almost 2 hours, but everything I needed back here, water, supplies, just whatever we plan on doing for the day, you know what I'm saying? So daily driver easily.
It's pretty luxury to me, honestly, and it has the sound system, even air condition and everything. What about the gas mileage? What is the best and worst you got?
All right, so rated, we know how those ratings can be a little misconstrued or whatever. Right. So it says city 13 miles per gallon, on the highways 18. I would have to say on a good day, me not, wanting to push the full power of the Viper, I would have to say in city, I might get 9, 10. On the highway, I could actually get a little bit better than 18. I can get maybe 20, 25, depending on, if I'm in 5th gear, 6th gear, I'm just coasting down. It's a very aerodynamic car, so the wind really kind of just blows through. So average, I could average about 14 miles to the gallon, which when you're buying, for a V10, when you're buying a car like this, obviously you're not worried about gas. You bought it for the enthusiasm. You bought it to fill the road. If you have to jump from gas station to gas station, it is what it is. So
let's check out the engine. Let's go.
All right, so we'll talk about how to open the actual hood because it's not like your standard, vehicle from opening from the inside. So there's a little latch right underneath the SRT emblem. If you pull it, bam. Now, people might think that it's a little weird to have a latch right here, but that means anyone can have access to your engine at any time. The only good side about that is if the car is locked, your alarm will go off, and I'll know if somebody's trying to get in. So,
And check out here. Actually, this reminds me of C4 Corvette. If you guys have seen any C4 Corvettes, most amazing thing out of Viper is here. Look how lovely and huge that is. It's mind-blowing, it's breathtaking, everything. I know you have not driven it that much, but yet sure you can talk about the reliability so far. You had it for a year, right? Or something?
pretty close.
A year, okay.
So reliability-wise, Dodge, I know we're not talking about Dodge, we're talking about SRT, but Dodge, they wanted to make a car, a supercar, in which the maintenance on it would not be the price of a supercar. So around 2013 to 14, SRT Dodge, it was named the most American car ever because 75% of the parts are made in America.
Wow.
I would have to say oil changes, tire rotations, all that's cheap. For me, it's been affordable. I haven't had to worry about any big issues. Because of the exhaust here on the side, there have been, a few components inside of the driver's side door, the passenger side door, but other than that, I mean, it's expected when you have that much heat generating from, right under something like that. So.
Right. I mean, it is a good thing and is a bad thing. Is a combined bad and good thing that to have pipe on the side, which it creates a lot of heat and noise. But when you're getting Viper, you're supposed to have some uncomfortable area. How uncomfortable you feel?
I've had the pleasure of, riding in first gen, second gen, third gen Vipers, fourth gen. And I would have to say the 2013 on up, they did a really good job on the heat shield on the side. So it's a lot more bearable, but then again, it's still a Viper.
Viper is the most iconic American supercar. I think enough talking and let's hop in, test drive it on the Canyon. You guys ready? I want to introduce you a very new technology that it calls Tap Talk card. It's an electronic card that it helped me a lot during pandemic actually. Front side has tap option to transfer your info via tapping, and the back side got QR code for scanning. You can set up any information you would like to share such as name, number, website along with all kind of social media. Allow me to demonstrate. Tap your e-card on the phone and a browser pop-up appears. Tap on it. Or you can scan the QR code using your phone's camera. For example, the person can open your website by tapping on it instead of typing it, just like that. So if you guys really need a business card like me all the time, this is a definitely best choice that you can have. It's a metal and they have different type of option as well, but this is the one that I go. I put the link in the descriptions below. Click on that and you can use my special code LR20 to get 10% discount off your purchase. Stay tuned. Yeah, so first thing first, as I talk about all the time, is the visibility. Visibility, the front and on the sides is pretty good. I kind of have to guess the front end of the car, and the back is not bad actually. Second gear, cool. Pulls very good, feels very raw, and the sound, oh my god, the sound out of the pipe is right next to you. Actually it's next to the doors. The car seems to like keep pulling and pulling. Oh my god, the sound inside the cabin is not a joke. I feel I'm screaming, but I feel I have to scream. Let's pull third gear. Shifting on this is, it can't be that much quick. It's very straightforward. I mean, you can easily find the gears. Now, definitely since it's manual car, it's all really depends on you, how you shift it. Maximum torque comes around 5,000 RPM. The torque under 3,000 RPM is kind of hidden. The power is not there, which is actually good for safety reason, because imagine V10 640 horsepower gives you torque below 3,000, you would not be able to control this monster at all. The clutch is relatively light. I mean, it's 8.4 liter engine. Think about it. The clutch and flywheel should be super huge, right? Honestly, I drove EcoBoost Mustang as I used to have it back in 2015. That has heavier clutch than this. You want to believe me or not, try it yourself. The steering wheels feel solid. Like, I drove the Charger Hellcat, is a little bit thicker, which I think, as I said before, the Charger Hellcat steering wheel is too thick. But this is the right amount. It represents, is a muscle and is a racing car. Whoa! Wow, you can easily spin the wheels. Even the traction is on, right?
Yep.
Each gear, first, second, third, they are very long. The transmission is one of my favorites so far. It feels so muscly. It's a muscle transmission, honestly. And yet it's still very precise. I feel it needs more air. This can easily go over 1,000 horsepower without damaging the engine block. I am totally against the automatic, honestly. I mean, I feel if McLaren had a manual, it would be super cool. You can even hear how heavy the engine is. The piston is, you can feel it. You can hear the pistons are super big. Let's go from first gear. I prefer manual cars, and this is the end of it. Viper. The traction on this is very good. It's very acceptable. Like, I am pushing it all the way. I feel, yes, the traction is definitely killing a lot of power. So visibility 7. The acceleration, I give it 9 from 10. Turn off the traction, and I don't want to do it right now unless we go to track, and I give it a 10. The top speed on this is 206 miles per hour. This is for high speed purposes. It's not for canyon purposes. Remember that. So coming to canyons with a Viper SRT is not very smart, yet you can definitely enjoy it. The brake system is pretty good. I feel it still can block all the power and acceleration from the 8.4 liter engine pretty easy. The first thing that surprised me once I got inside this was the comfort level. The seats are really, really comfy. And the styling, I mean, I can't even get enough all of the styling of this car. The exterior is so beautiful car, you know, especially the long hood in the front. It just makes people stare at your car while we are driving. Everyone is staring at the car. The only thing that I cannot give it 10 out of 10 is the handling. The handling, with having 16,000 mileage on this car, is brand new, right? Sometimes it feels confused, but I'm very sure there is better aftermarket suspensions or the ACR suspension that you definitely can swap on this, and then everything is gonna be 10 out of 10. The sound, it's scary, guys. Sound is as well 10 out of 10. Overall score, if you upgrade the suspension, 10 out of 10. It's so much joy riding. The only thing can be close to this would be C6 or C7 ZR1. The tachometer is digital and the rest is analog, but it looks very modern. It's a very modern looking interior and modern looking speedometer. Last run. Ready? 3, 2, 1, pulling from first gear. I saw Cobra snake came red. We hit the red line, so it came up. That is so cool feature. Second gear pull. Give us a thumbs up. Stay tuned. That camera is off, so stay tuned. Third gear.